Failure doesn't whisper, it screams. It tells you that you're not enough, that your dreams are too big, your ideas too wild, and your chances too slim. But what if I told you the pain you feel now is the fire that will forge your future? What if I told you that every rule you've ever been told to follow was designed to keep you small? Because here's the truth. Greatness isn't achieved by playing it safe. Greatness is born from chaos, from defiance, from breaking the rules. Imagine this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff. Behind you, the life you hate, the monotony, the suffocating expectations. In front of you, the abyss of uncertainty. Are you brave enough to jump? Because staying where you are might feel safer. But trust me when I say, it's killing you slowly. Today, we're diving deep into why breaking rules isn't just an option. It's the only way to achieve true greatness. And by the end of this video, you'll have no choice but to confront the rebel within you. Let me paint a picture for you. Close your eyes for a moment. Well, not literally, because you're watching this video. And imagine yourself in a crowded room. Everyone around you is nodding their heads, following instructions, doing exactly what they're told. They're comfortable, predictable, safe, but deep down, they're miserable. Now look at yourself. You're different. You don't fit in. You never have. And that's not a flaw. It's your superpower. Because while everyone else is busy fitting into boxes, you were born to break them. But here's the catch. Breaking rules isn't easy. It's terrifying. It's messy. It's unpredictable. And yet, it's the only path to true greatness. So buckle up, because we're about to explore why conformity kills creativity, how failure fuels success, and what it really takes to rewrite the rules of your own life. Let's get one thing straight. Society loves conformity. It thrives on it. Why do you think schools teach us to sit still, raise our hands, and color inside the lines? Why do companies demand uniforms, rigid schedules, and blind obedience? Because control is easier than freedom. Predictability is safer than unpredictability. But let me ask you something. When has anything truly extraordinary come from following someone else's script? Think about the people who changed the world. Steve Jobs didn't wait for permission to revolutionize technology. He dropped out of college, built computers in his garage, and broke every rule in the book. Elon Musk didn't consult focus groups before deciding to colonize Mars. These men, and countless others like them, didn't succeed because they followed the rules. They succeeded because they rewrote them. Now I know what you're thinking. But what if I fail? Oh, you will fail. Failure isn't optional, it's inevitable. But here's the secret. Failure isn't fatal. It's feedback. Every time you fall, you learn. Every time you stumble, you grow stronger. And every time you break a rule, you discover new possibilities. So stop seeing failure as the enemy. Start seeing it as the price of admission to greatness. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I found myself stuck in a job I hated. Day after day, I clocked in, did my work, and went home feeling empty. One evening, I sat down with a notebook and wrote 2 words at the top of the page. What if? What if I quit my job? What if I started my own business? What if I pursued the dream I'd buried under layers of fear and doubt? At first, the idea terrified me. Quitting meant losing stability. Starting over meant risking everything. But then I realized something. Staying where I wasn't stability. It was stagnation. So I took the leap. I broke the rules. I left behind the predictable path everyone expected me to take, and I carved out my own. Was it easy? Hell no. Did I make mistakes? More than I can count. But looking back, I wouldn't trade those struggles for anything. Because through them, I discovered who I really am. Here's the thing about rules. They exist to protect the status quo, to keep things running smoothly. But smooth roads lead nowhere exciting. If you want to achieve greatness, you need to embrace discomfort. You need to be willing to stand alone, even when everyone around you tells you you're crazy. Because the truth is, most people don't want you to succeed. They want you to stay exactly where you are so they don't have to face their own fears. Take the Joker, for example. Not the clown makeup kind. The archetype. The rebel. The disruptor. The person who refuses to play by anyone else's rules. There's a reason he fascinates us. He represents everything we secretly admire, but are too afraid to become. Chaos, creativity, unapologetic individualism. Imagine him standing in a dimly lit warehouse, shadows dancing across his face, eyes blazing with intensity. His smirk says it all. I don't care what you think. I'm here to change the game, and that's what you need to channel. That unshakable confidence, that willingness to challenge the system. Because the system wasn't built for you to win. It was built to keep you in line. But you weren't born to fit in. You were born to stand out. So how do you start breaking the rules? First, identify the ones holding you back. Is it the belief that you need a degree to succeed? That you need approval from others to validate your worth? Write them down. Then, one by one, tear them apart. Replace them with new beliefs. Beliefs that empower you. Beliefs that remind you that you are the author of your story. Second, surround yourself with rebels. People who inspire you to think differently, who push you to take risks, who celebrate your victories and pick you up when you fall. Success isn't a solo journey, it's a team effort. Find your tribe, and together, rewrite the narrative. Finally, take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. Start small. Break one rule today, then another tomorrow. Each step forward builds momentum. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. But let's dive deeper. Let's talk about the psychology of rebellion. Why is it so hard to break free from societal norms? Why does stepping outside the box feel like jumping off a cliff? The answer lies in fear. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of failure. Society conditions us to believe that these fears are insurmountable, but they're not. They're just obstacles, and obstacles are meant to be overcome. Consider this. Every great achievement in history began with someone saying, "This isn't working. We need to try something different." The Wright brothers didn't invent the airplane by sticking to traditional methods. Marie Curie didn't discover radioactivity by following the scientific consensus. They questioned, they experimented, they failed, and eventually they succeeded. Now let's bring it closer to home. Think about your own life. How many times have you held yourself back because you were afraid of what others might think? How many opportunities have you missed because you were waiting for permission? Here's the reality. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to give you permission to chase your dreams. You have to take that power for yourself. And yes, it's scary, it's uncomfortable, it's unpredictable. But here's the beautiful part. Once you start breaking the rules, you realize that the fear was never as bad as you imagined. The world doesn't collapse when you defy expectations. In fact, the opposite happens. Doors open, opportunities arise, and suddenly you find yourself living a life you never thought possible. But don't just take my word for it. Look at the evidence. Study after study shows that innovation thrives in environments where people are encouraged to think outside the box. Companies that foster creativity outperform their competitors. Artists who break conventions create masterpieces. Athletes who defy limits achieve greatness. The pattern is clear. Rules are meant to be broken. Of course, breaking rules doesn't mean being reckless. It means being intentional. It means understanding the difference between boundaries that protect and boundaries that restrict. It means knowing when to push back and when to hold steady. It's a delicate balance, but one that becomes easier with practice. So here's my challenge to you. Spend the next week identifying one rule in your life that's holding you back. Maybe it's a limiting belief. Maybe it's a societal expectation. Whatever it is, write it down. Then, take one small step toward breaking it. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting, trying something new, or simply saying no to something that doesn't align with your values, take action. And watch what happens. Because here's the truth. The world rewards those who dare to be different. It rewards those who refuse to settle. It rewards those who break the rules, not for the sake of rebellion, but for the sake of progress. And that's exactly what you're capable of. This moment right here, this is your turning point. Will you let fear control you, or will you rise above it? Leave a comment below and tell me, what rule are you ready to break? What dream are you ready to chase? Hit like, share this video, and subscribe for more raw, unfiltered motivation. Because together, we'll turn darkness into power. Remember, the world needs more rebels, more dreamers, more people willing to defy the odds and create something extraordinary. And that person, that could be you. So go ahead, take the leap, break the rules, and watch as the impossible becomes possible.